Hello, folks, and welcome to the Rose Jewel Railroad. This is the Rose Jewel Railroad Outdoor Edition. It's going to be a little bit different. I promise I'll stay on track, but we'll keep this somewhat related. There's lots of hobbies within the hobby of model railroading. One of them, I would say, is collecting the catalogs. I got catalogs that go all the way back to 1920. And another thing that we often collect, we don't talk about, is the automobiles that we buy for our layouts. And they often reflect us in one shape or form, whether our present or our past. And that's basically what this is kind of about. And I'll try to keep this short. I am basically a Chevy guy. I guess it stems back to my dad. That's my dad and my mom when they were dating, and that is a 1939 Chevy. And my parents, my dad basically had Chevrolets. I have nothing against Dodge and Ford. It's just that this is, the way I grew up, and this is what I have. And that's, I guess, what I've had over the years. Let's see, this is me. I graduated high school in 1987, I graduated high school in 1988, so these pictures were probably taken in 1987. There's me with my very first car. That's a 1967 Chevy Bel Air. It is a four-door. It had a 283 Power Glide. It kind of stems back to my dad had a 1967 Chevy Impala, which I do not have a picture of right here handy, but I absolutely love the car. And actually, I seen this car. There it is. I had seen it in the town I was growing up in. It was just kind of laying abandoned, and I offered a lady $115 for it. I was like 15 years old, and she thought I said 150, and so she sold it to me for 150. It was a good car, actually. It didn't need a whole lot. It taught me a lot about fixing cars and whatnot. It was pretty rusty. It had a 283 in it. That's the interior, the steering wheel. Buddy of mine, we ended up painting it black. We did not do a professional job by no means. I believe that was painted with a Wagner power sprayer, but we put some Bondo on it, and yeah, I was pretty proud of it. This is another story. This is my 78 Chevy Nova. That's my second car. And my third car is actually still in my garage, and I'll leave that for another story. That's a 1979 Monte Carlo. But anyways, a few years ago, this HBO show came out, very popular. It was Supernatural, and they have a 1967 Chevy Impala on that, a four-door. And it kind of sprung these cars to be popular, and I could find them at Walgreens and stuff. This is kind of represents my car before it was painted. This is my car after it was painted. This car actually was labeled as an A-Team car. Must have been the bad guys. And of course, I just found the red one. I just pick them up if I find one I don't have. There was 4 different trim levels of this car, by the way. Like I said, mine was a Bel Air. The bottom trim level was actually a Biscayne, and then I had a Bel Air, and like I said, my dad had an Impala, and I believe the top level was actually a Caprice. So yeah, like I said, my dad had the 1967 Chevy Impala, and mine was a Bel Air. His was a real maroon color, and it was a real gorgeous car. I should have drug out the picture, but anyways, but in high school, this probably wasn't the coolest car to have. A lot of people at least wanted two doors. I was just always attracted to cars from the 1960s. And some of the guys gave me a hard time about it, you know, having a four-door, and it wasn't the most powerful thing being a 283 automatic, but I loved the car no matter what. But then I'd get Hot Rod magazine out, and a car I kind of dreamed about was this one right here, 1966 Chevelle. And I thought, wow, you know, because it was a late 1960s era, like I liked, you know, the muscle car era, and it was a bigger car, you know. So I always wanted one since I was probably about 17. And actually, this particular model here, I believe his name is John Leilazar. I can't, I'm probably tearing up your name, John, but he had one of these on his layout, and trains were going by, and I was like rewinding YouTube and stuff just to see this car. Like, oh my gosh, it's the model of a 1966 Chevelle. I really wanted it, you know, and I managed to track one down on eBay. There's just not a whole lot of these actually of any color, and I believe this is the exact one he had, and they're pretty pricey. If you can get them for under 30 bucks, like 29 bucks for shipping and handling, it's like, yeah, you did good. Here's another one. I'm not so sure how realistic, you know, two-door highway patrol cars are, but yeah, I said, why not? But yeah, I always wanted that car, and I didn't have it. And then more recently, I started looking. I was looking on YouTube and stuff for the real car, you know, hoping to find one. You know, maybe John inspired me by when I got this one. Oh, I got the 143. Now I really wish they had the real thing. But I actually went to Kansas and looked at one that was almost exactly like this. It just didn't have the black top. And my high school buddy and I went, you know, I live in Wisconsin. We drove to Kansas. It was about 9 hours, and looked at it, and needless to say, we didn't go home with it. But then we went to Michigan, and in case you haven't figured out, that's what's going on here. I bought this. This is a 1966 Chevelle SS. It is a clone SS, but needless to say, it is an SS. And it has the 4-speed in it, and posi rear end, 355 gears. Try to open this hood one-handed. I don't think I can do it. Oh, I kind of did it with my knee. Okay, that is a 396. It's pretty well built. It's got the MSD ignition. It's got a cam. It's got some aluminum heads on it. Got a premium cam in it. And of course, it had some goodies updated. It's got power brakes and the dual master cylinder. They did not have disc brakes in 1966. They came out with them in 1967, but as you can see, I got them on this. In my younger days, I used to like to fix on cars, but I actually was hoping to get something that didn't need all that. So I got this. And I will start it up here if I can keep these cars from rumbling off here. Put my mom and dad down here. All right. I know you model train guys are a lot of times car buffs too, so I thought, well, as long as I don't get too off the wall. Interior, pretty nice. Got the Hurst shifter there. on this. This has been the Rolls Tool Railroad, and it's a little bit off the wall, but like I said, I know we like collecting our 143 cars too, and a lot of you guys are car buffs. I know, like PGF Train Fanatic, he's a Mustang guy, and you know, John, I mentioned he posted a picture of his wedding picture not too long ago with him and his wife and that beautiful Ford Shelby Mustang. And I know Brian from Max Crossing, he just did a video with his 3 Camaros, 3 beautiful Camaros he has. And so I thought I would do this, and you know, like I said, I promise I won't go too off the wall, but yeah, I've got a 1979 Monte Carlo that I probably need to be selling, but I'll do that on a different day when I get it all cleaned up. But yeah, I'm just ecstatic that I finally got one of these. You know, I'm in my 50s, and I've been wanting one since I was in my teens, and my wife said okay, you know, she was agreed to it. It was right now we didn't have a car payment and whatnot, and it seemed like a good time to pull the plug, and you know, did a lot of shopping and I found it. So thank you, folks. This has been the Rolls Tool Railroad. We'll talk to you later. Bye now.